If you believe that happiness is something found in wealth, success, or the approval of others, then you have unknowingly handed over control of your joy to forces beyond your grasp. Like a ship tossed in the relentless waves of the ocean, your emotions will rise and fall with every shift in fortune. One day you may find yourself soaring with confidence, and the next sinking into despair. But if you seek happiness that remains unshaken no matter what storms arise, then the source of that joy must be built from within, where no external force can reach to tear it apart. True happiness is not found in what you gain or lose. It is cultivated in the way you perceive, respond, and grow from every experience life throws your way. Every challenge that crosses your path carries within it the seeds of transformation. Marcus Aurelius, a man who bore the weight of an empire, faced betrayal, war, and the horrors of plague. Yet he did not curse his fate. Instead, he left behind words of wisdom. What stands in the way becomes the way. He understood that difficulties are not obstacles meant to break us, but rather stepping stones that shape our character. Consider for a moment the things you have lost. Did they define your happiness? If they did, perhaps you had anchored your joy to something that was never meant to hold it. And if someone were to insult you, would your worth truly diminish, or would it only change in their perception? The way you frame each moment dictates the power it holds over you. Even in the depths of suffering, there is a lesson waiting to be uncovered. And when you find it, pain turns into wisdom, grief into growth, and struggle into strength. But there is something even more powerful than reframing your challenges. It is mastering what is within your control. A teaching passed down by Epictetus echoes this truth. Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within our control, and some things are not. Yet most people suffer because they resist this truth. They demand the world to shape itself according to their expectations, believing that fairness should always prevail, that others should always act as they wish, that life should unfold exactly as they planned. But the world does not function under our demands. The more energy you waste fighting what you cannot change, the more restless and frustrated you become. However, when you shift your focus to what is within your power, your thoughts, your actions, your mindset, you step into a realm of true freedom. In the face of adversity, you are no longer a victim of circumstance, but the master of your own response. Yet, even with mastery over your thoughts, there is one truth that cannot be escaped. Everything in life is temporary. The joys you cherish, the sorrows that weigh upon your heart, even your very existence, are fleeting. Seneca, in his wisdom, observed that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Think about it. How many of your fears have been about things that never came to pass? How many regrets have chained you to events that no longer exist? We torment ourselves with shadows of the past and ghosts of the future, yet happiness is found in neither. It exists only in this moment. When you come to accept that nothing lasts forever, not pain, not pleasure, you release the grip of fear and finally embrace peace. Life does not promise permanence, but it does offer something greater, a chance to live fully in each moment, to appreciate what is now before it slips away. If happiness is what you truly seek, then do not ask, "What do I want?" but rather, "Who do I wish to become?" External achievements may be stripped away, wealth may be lost, status may fade, and recognition may disappear. But there is something no one can ever take from you: your integrity, your kindness, your wisdom. These are the foundations upon which true happiness is built. Imagine a house constructed on sand, unstable, fragile, easily washed away by the tide. This is the life of one who ties their joy to material gains and fleeting circumstances. But the one who builds their happiness on virtue, on discipline, on inner wisdom, This is a house built upon rock, unshaken by the winds of misfortune. There is, however, one final key that unlocks the door to contentment: gratitude. It is the simplest yet most overlooked path to fulfillment. You have air in your lungs. You have eyes that witness the beauty of the world. You have the gift of this very moment. And yet, how often do we dismiss these as insignificant? We chase after what is missing, blind to the abundance that already surrounds us. But the one who pauses to recognize the wealth within their grasp, the warmth of the sun, the laughter of a friend, the lessons woven into each day, this is the one who is truly rich. Happiness is not something handed to you, nor is it something waiting to be found in the distant future. It is a choice, a practice, a way of being. Moment by moment, the world will test you. It will try to lure you into anger, into fear, into despair. But in the end, the choice is always yours. Will you surrender to the chaos, or will you stand unshaken, holding the light of your own inner peace? There is a truth that many overlook in their endless pursuit of happiness. Chasing after it only pushes it further away. Like a mirage in the desert, the more you run toward it, the more it seems to vanish before your eyes. People convince themselves that once they achieve success, once they find love, once they obtain wealth, then happiness will finally settle into their lives. But they fail to see that happiness is not a destination. It is a way of traveling. If you cannot find joy in the present moment, you will not find it in the future, no matter how much you attain. The key lies not in gaining more, but in shifting the way you see what you already have. Many believe that happiness depends on favorable circumstances, that it is a product of ease and comfort. But history tells us otherwise. Some of the happiest people have lived with very little, and some of the most miserable have possessed everything. What separates the two is not what they own or what they have achieved. It is their perspective. Consider the stories of those who have faced immense adversity, yet found a way to remain unbroken. They did not wait for conditions to change to allow themselves to be happy. They made happiness a state of being, independent of what was happening around them. Life will always test you. It will bring setbacks, disappointments, and losses. You will experience moments where it feels like the world is working against you, stripping away everything you hold dear. And in those moments, you will have a choice: to see yourself as a victim of misfortune, or to recognize that even suffering carries within it an opportunity for growth. The strongest souls are not those who have never struggled, but those who have been shaped by their struggles, who have learned to stand tall even when the ground beneath them shakes. But how do you cultivate this kind of resilience? It begins with letting go of attachment to things that are beyond your control. The more tightly you cling to external circumstances for happiness, the more vulnerable you become to disappointment. If your joy depends on wealth, what happens when it is lost? If your peace relies on the approval of others, what happens when they turn away? If your sense of worth is built upon status, what happens when it fades? Happiness built on unstable foundations will always crumble. True peace comes from detaching from what is temporary and anchoring yourself in what is eternal. Your values, your inner strength, your ability to grow and learn from each experience. One of the greatest causes of unhappiness is the illusion that life should always be fair. People expect the world to reward their goodness, to repay their hard work, to unfold according to their desires. But life does not operate under human expectations. There will be moments when you give your best and receive nothing in return. Moments when you treat others with kindness and are met with indifference or cruelty. Moments when you pour your heart into something only to watch it fall apart. If your happiness is tied to fairness, you will spend your life frustrated and resentful. But if you accept that life is unpredictable, that its nature is neither to favor nor to punish. You will learn to flow with it rather than fight against it. There is wisdom in surrender, not surrender as defeat, but as understanding. Understanding that you cannot control everything, that change is inevitable, that uncertainty is a part of existence. Instead of resisting, you can learn to move with the tides, adapting to each new wave that comes your way. This does not mean you stop striving or become passive. It means you recognize where your power truly lies. You cannot dictate the circumstances of your life, but you can always dictate your response. And in that response, in that choice, lies your freedom. When you free yourself from the need to control the uncontrollable, you begin to see the beauty in what is. You no longer waste energy worrying about what might happen or mourning what has already passed. You learn to live fully in the present moment, to appreciate what is here and now. And in that presence, in that deep awareness of life as it unfolds, happiness arises naturally, not as something pursued, but as something discovered. Imagine for a moment if you could live with this kind of peace, if you could wake up each day and instead of longing for what is missing, you could appreciate what is already present. If you could face challenges not with dread, but with the understanding that they are shaping you into someone stronger. If you could embrace impermanence, not as a source of fear, but as a reminder to cherish every fleeting moment. This is the path to true and lasting happiness, not found in possessions, not granted by others, but cultivated from within. The world will continue to change. People will come and go. Success and failure will rise and fall like the tides. But within you, there is a place of stillness that remains untouched by the chaos of the outside world. It is here, in this inner sanctuary, that real joy is found. The question is, will you choose to step into it? There is a profound truth that many fail to grasp. Happiness is not something that comes from the outside. It does not arrive with wealth, nor does it disappear with loss. It is not gifted by success, nor stolen by failure. It exists within you, waiting to be uncovered. But most people never realize this, because they have been conditioned to search for happiness in all the wrong places. They believe that if only they could achieve more, earn more, be loved more, then they would finally feel content. But the more they chase, the emptier they feel. The world has taught them to look outward, never inward, and so they remain blind to the source of joy that has been within them all along. But there is another reason why people struggle to find happiness. They are trapped by their own minds. The mind is a powerful tool, but it can also be a prison. It fills your thoughts with regrets of the past, fears of the future, and endless worries about things beyond your control. It convinces you that you are not enough, that you need more, that you must always be striving, achieving, proving yourself. And so, instead of living, you are merely existing, caught in an endless cycle of longing and dissatisfaction. Yet, there is a way to break free. It begins with awareness. When you observe your thoughts without becoming lost in them, you take back control. When you stop identifying with the voice in your mind that tells you happiness is always just out of reach, you begin to see through the illusion. The mind will always create problems. It is what it does. But you do not have to believe every thought that arises. You can choose to step back, to breathe, to simply be. And in that stillness, you will find a peace that no external circumstance can shake. But even with awareness, even with wisdom, there is one thing that must be accepted. Pain is inevitable. No matter how much you understand, no matter how much you grow, life will still bring moments of suffering. People will leave, dreams will shatter, and hardships will arise. You cannot avoid this, nor should you try, because pain is not the enemy, it is the teacher. It is through suffering that we learn resilience, through loss that we learn appreciation, through struggle that we learn strength. Those who spend their lives running from pain only prolong their suffering. But those who face it, who embrace it, who allow it to shape them without breaking them, these are the ones who find true freedom. It is a paradox, yet it is the greatest truth. When you stop resisting life, life stops resisting you. When you surrender to what is rather than clinging to what should be, you find a flow, a harmony, a deep sense of peace. This does not mean you stop striving or become indifferent. It means you stop fighting against reality. You take action, you work hard, you pursue your dreams, but you do so without attachment. You give your best, and then you let go. Because in the end, you are not in control of the outcome. You never were. But you are in control of how you respond. And in that response, in that choice, lies all the power you will ever need. There is an old saying, "A person who is rich is not one who has the most, but one who needs the least." Happiness is not about accumulating more, but about appreciating what you already have. And when you realize that, when you shift your focus from what is missing to what is present, everything changes. The same life that once felt like a burden suddenly becomes a gift. The same challenges that once seemed unbearable become opportunities for growth. The same world that once felt empty becomes full of meaning. The world will not hand you happiness. It will not place it at your feet. You must create it moment by moment, through your choices, your perspective, your ability to find joy even in the ordinary. There will always be reasons to be unhappy, but there will also always be reasons to be grateful. The question is, which will you choose to focus on? Most people spend their lives in pursuit of something they cannot quite define. They believe that happiness lies in the next promotion, the next relationship, the next accomplishment. They tell themselves that once they achieve enough, once they have everything they desire, then they will finally be at peace. But they never stop to ask, how much is enough? How much success? How much recognition? How much wealth? And so, they continue chasing, running faster and faster, always believing that happiness is just one step ahead. But the truth is, it is not ahead. It is already here. It has always been here. They just never learned how to see it. It comes from realizing that you were enough all along. It comes from understanding that your worth is not something that can be measured. It simply is. Yet, even when people begin to understand this, they struggle with another truth. Happiness is not constant. There will be days when joy flows easily, when life feels effortless and beautiful. But there will also be days when sadness takes over, when nothing seems to go right, when the weight of the world feels too heavy to bear. Many people believe that if they are not happy all the time, something is wrong. But this is a mistake. Happiness is not meant to be permanent. Just as the sun rises and falls, just as the seasons change, emotions come and go. And that is not something to fight. It is something to accept. Imagine a river flowing down a mountain. The water does not resist the rocks in its path. It does not try to force its way through obstacles. It simply moves around them, finding a new course, adapting, continuing on its journey. This is how happiness must be approached. It is not about forcing yourself to always feel good. It is about allowing yourself to experience whatever arises, without resistance, without judgment, knowing that nothing lasts forever. Pain will come, but it will also pass. Joy will come, but it too will fade. And that is the beauty of life. It is always changing, always flowing, always moving. There is a reason why some of the happiest people in the world are not those with the most, but those who give the most. They have found that joy is not in taking, but in sharing. They have realized that life is not about accumulating, but about experiencing, about connecting, about making an impact in whatever way they can. And they have discovered a secret that many never learn. The more you give, the more you receive. The more you focus on others, the lighter your own burdens become. The more kindness you show, the more joy you create, not just for others, but for yourself. But in order to live this way, you must let go of one thing: the belief that happiness is something outside of you. As long as you believe that joy depends on circumstances, on achievements, on other people, you will always be at the mercy of forces beyond your control. But the moment you realize that happiness is a choice, that it is something you cultivate within yourself, you take back your power. You become unshakable. You no longer need life to be perfect, because you have found something greater than perfection. You have found peace. And that is the greatest freedom of all. To know that no matter what happens, you have the ability to remain centered. To know that even when life is uncertain, even when things fall apart, even when you face loss and hardship, there is a part of you that remains untouched. That part is your true self, the self that is not defined by external success or failure, not swayed by the opinions of others, not bound by the limitations of the world. It is the part of you that is always at peace, always whole, always free. The question is, will you embrace it? Will you stop searching outside and begin looking within? Because the happiness you seek is not in the next achievement, not in the next possession, not in the approval of others. It is in this moment, in this breath, in the simple realization that you are enough exactly as you are. And once you understand that, everything changes. Not because the world becomes different, but because you do. Most people believe they are waiting for happiness, but the truth is, happiness is waiting for them. It has always been there, within reach, yet they continue to postpone it. They tell themselves they will be happy when they achieve their goals, when they find the right person, when they have financial security, when everything in their life finally falls into place. But they do not realize that happiness does not come from perfection. It comes from presence. It is not found in the future, nor is it buried in the past. It exists only in this moment. And those who learn to embrace this truth find a joy that cannot be shaken by circumstance. It is not the circumstances of life that determine happiness, but the way you respond to them. A person who expects the world to always be kind, always be fair, always be easy, will be disappointed again and again. But a person who accepts that life is unpredictable, that change is constant, that difficulties are inevitable, will never be caught off guard. They will move with life rather than against it, adapting, learning, growing with each new challenge. And in doing so, they will find a freedom that most never experience. The freedom of knowing that no matter what happens, they have the power to remain at peace. But there is something else that holds people back from happiness: their attachment to control. They believe that if they can just plan enough, prepare enough, do everything perfectly, they can make life unfold exactly as they wish. But life does not obey human desires. No matter how much you plan, unexpected things will happen. No matter how much you prepare, there will always be uncertainty. The more you try to control everything, the more frustrated you will become. But the moment you let go, the moment you accept that some things are beyond your control, you will experience a sense of peace you never knew was possible. Happiness is not something distant, something rare, something that only a few are lucky enough to experience. It is available to everyone, in every moment, but it requires a shift in perspective. It requires letting go of the belief that happiness is something to be chased, something to be earned, something that comes from outside of you. It requires understanding that happiness is already here, already within you, waiting to be noticed, waiting to be chosen. The question is, will you choose it? Will you stop searching for happiness in places where it cannot be found? Will you stop waiting for life to be perfect before you allow yourself to enjoy it? Will you take control of your own joy, not by trying to change the world, but by changing the way you see it? Because the moment you do, everything shifts. The same life that once felt ordinary becomes extraordinary. The same challenges that once seemed unbearable become opportunities. The same world that once felt lacking becomes full of abundance. Happiness is not found in the future. It is found in the way you choose to live today. And once you understand that, you will never spend another moment searching for it again. There is a simple yet profound truth that most people overlook. Happiness is not something to be found, but something to be created. It is not waiting for you in some distant future, nor is it hidden in the things you wish you had. It is not in the next achievement, the next possession, or the next stage of life. It is in this moment, in this breath, in the way you choose to see the world around you. But most people do not realize this. They spend their days waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for circumstances to change, waiting for something outside of them to bring the joy they seek. But happiness is not something you wait for. It is something you cultivate. Every single day you are faced with a choice. You can focus on what is missing, on what is imperfect, on what has gone wrong, or you can focus on what is present, on what is beautiful, on what is still possible. The world will always present reasons to be unhappy. There will always be difficulties, struggles, disappointments. But there will also always be reasons to be grateful, small moments of kindness, quiet acts of love, simple joys that often go unnoticed. The key to lasting happiness is not in eliminating suffering, but in learning to see beyond it. It is in realizing that even in the darkest times, there is still light. Yet, so many people spend their lives searching for happiness in places where it cannot be found. They believe it exists in success, in wealth, in recognition. They chase after it endlessly, thinking that once they reach a certain point, they will finally feel complete. But they are like someone running toward the horizon, believing they will reach the end of the sky. No matter how far they go, it always moves further away. Because happiness was never in those things to begin with. It was never outside of them. It was within them all along. Imagine for a moment that you could strip away every external source of happiness. Imagine that you lost everything, your possessions, your status, your achievements. Would you still be able to find joy? Would you still be able to smile? If your happiness depends on things that can be taken away, then it is not true happiness. It is only a fragile illusion. But if your joy comes from within, from your mindset, from your ability to appreciate, from your inner peace, then nothing in the world can shake it. This is why some of the happiest people are those who have the least. It is why those who have suffered great losses often emerge with the deepest sense of peace. They have learned something that many never do, that happiness is not in having more, but in needing less. It is not in controlling life, but in accepting it. It is not in waiting for things to be perfect, but in embracing them as they are. But how do you reach this state of mind? How do you let go of the endless pursuit and finally allow yourself to be happy? It begins with a shift in perspective. Instead of asking, "What do I need to be happy?" ask, "What is stopping me from being happy right now?" More often than not, the answer is not something external. It is a belief, a habit, a way of thinking that keeps you trapped in dissatisfaction. Maybe you have convinced yourself that you cannot be happy until you achieve a certain goal. Maybe you are holding on to resentment, unable to move forward. Maybe you are living in the past or fearing the future, never allowing yourself to fully experience the present. Happiness is not about adding more to your life. It is about removing what is blocking it, It is about releasing expectations, surrendering control, forgiving, letting go. It is about recognizing that joy is already here, waiting to be noticed. And once you do, everything changes. There is a saying that goes, "The happiest people do not have the best of everything, they make the best of everything." This is the key to a fulfilling life. It is not about what you have, but about how you see it. Two people can experience the same situation. One will find misery, the other will find meaning. The difference is not in the event itself, but in the perspective. The one who suffers sees what is missing, what is unfair, what is painful. The one who is happy sees what is still present, what can be learned, what can be appreciated. And this is the greatest power you possess, the power to choose. No matter what happens in life, you always have control over one thing, your response. You can choose to focus on anger, or you can choose to focus on peace. You can choose to hold on to resentment, or you can choose to forgive. You can choose to dwell in regret, or you can choose to move forward. The world will not always be kind, but you can always be kind to yourself. In the end, happiness is not something that happens to you. It is something you create, moment by moment, through your thoughts, your actions, your perspective. The world will continue to change. People will come and go. Success and failure will rise and fall. But if you learn to find happiness within yourself, nothing can take it away. The only question left is, will you choose it?